Yo, what is good, everybody? Listen, I'll make this quick. Just quick in and out. This was really my test run since installing a new getting my Wi-Fi fixed, and since the accident from the last stream that was supposed to happen. Um, man, listen, the Ravens almost gave me a heart attack. One of my boys is a Rams fan, and I was not looking forward to the conversation if we would have lost. Boy, I tell you. Now he's not one of those. He's one of those realistic fans. So he it would have been a good conversation, but I wouldn't have heard. It wouldn't have been too much bragging because he's a realistic fan. He knows what's going on. He follows the NFL very well. So he's not just one of those, hey, my team beat your team type of guy. So it wouldn't have been too terrible. But man, you talking about shaking in your boots. I'm watching this game and I feel my heart beating faster and faster and faster. And I could not believe the absolute mess we just watched. That had to be our sloppiest game we've played all year long, without the shadow of a doubt. You could probably hear I don't even have my voice from yelling. I'm losing my voice because I was yelling, yelling, yelling during the game. Um, my family sitting here looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm yelling all over the place. We was hopping around the house on that huge game-winning punt return by Tylen Wallace, and I know it's just one play, it's one punt return, but that one punt return just made sure that Devin Duvernay was out the door next year. I just want to point that out because Duve has been um not he hasn't been very good back there. He's not breaking tackles. He has no wiggle. He seems slower this year than he was last year. I don't know what's going on with him, if he's got some type of injury he's been nursing. But absolutely crazy. Absolutely like sloppy game. I'm happy we won. I'm always gonna be happy we win. But the way we won was not ideal, right? But it does show resolve. It does show that the team has resolve, that when backed up against the wall, they're still going to continue to fight. And that's kind of what we've been looking for out of the Ravens. We've been wanting to see that if they're backed up against the wall late in the game, can the offense make the plays needed to um, keep us in the game and win the game? And lo and behold, special teams won the game, but the offense made the plays they needed to when they needed to, right? With the exception of a drive here and there. But it was great to see our guys come out and perform and be, you know, not competitive because we should have dominated that game in my eyes, but to show heart. And I'm extremely proud of the heart they showed. But on the same hand, I need these boys to be better, right? Be better, play better, do better. You got to get it under control. Let's start early in the game. Um, some plays, some miscues. We had a bad snap in there by Linderbaum where I don't even know if we call it a bad snap or just his timing was all wrong. There's no reason to snap the ball there, and you kind of obviously when it ends up putting us down too, and it was just a weird game. You had these little things happening throughout the game that was just weird, and then you get the Lamar Jackson late in the game. You get the sack that wasn't a sack; it should have been an incomplete pass, but the refs botched the call, which happens a lot in the NFL. and you get stuck with a 3rd and 17. And boy, I tell you, ball don't lie, because 3rd and 17, Lamar rifles one in the Zay, where he catches it basically on the half-yard line, spins in, and you get your touchdown. So ball don't lie. Ball don't lie, right? We had a number of those moments. And can we just take a moment to big ups the offensive line? The O line played phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Their pass blocking this game, it seems like they were the only ones, until the second half. They were the only ones that got up and said, okay, let's go do this. Let's go play this game. They were ready for Aaron Donald. And the scheme of the offensive line had to be A1, because double teams, triple teams. I mean, you seen Aaron get back there a couple times when he was being single blocked one on one. Of course, he's Aaron Donald, one of the greatest to ever do it, right? So you've seen him beat some blocks and get back there, but Lamar's escapability is has got to be the weapon of all weapons. Now, we did have a play early in the game where I think Lamar could have pulled the trigger on a couple of passes where I felt like guys were open. They were at least NFL open. And there was enough room where if he put the ball in front of them, they probably could have made a play. So there was a few of those plays out there that I think we left on the field. And the deep ball, he's got to get in sync, but he's getting there. You've seen the progression throughout the game that he's getting a little better with the deep ball. We've seen Bateman on one deep ball slow up and stop running, which I've noticed that with him. There's plays here and there where he's running kind of half kiltered, he's not putting his all into it. I'm not saying he's taking plays off. I'm saying he's not running his hardest. And maybe it's because he's in his mind, he doesn't think he's going to get the ball because he hasn't been in the past. So maybe that's kind of got a hold of him where he thinks, oh, this isn't going to come to me. So he kind of just runs, kind of jogs rather than running hard. But my goodness, he made a few plays after that. We had everybody making plays, and that's what I look to see from this team. And we got Jared in the building. If y'all don't know, go check out Jared's channel, please. Please. Knowledgeable gentleman right here. Right? Knowledgeable gentleman. Loves sports and does great job covering it. He says also finish, but we need to be more consistent in our offensive scheme. I agree. There needs to be more consistency, especially when the offensive line is blocking the way they were today. There's no part of that game we can blame on the offensive line. They did their job, and you can't ask of much more from them. Aside from the Linderbaum situation, you can't really ask for a much better game from the offensive line than what they had today. I mean, they made that pass rush look, they stifled them. They made that pass rush look rudimentary. Like they didn't seem to be an elite pass rush squad at all. So great job by the offensive line. Gus Edwards. Gus had some questionable runs. It seems like he's getting away from following his blocks and just, getting downfield on a lot of plays. Seems like he's trying to make extra stuff happen when he shouldn't. But I think that's a result of him trying to maybe force his way back into more carries because he sees the scat backs, the guys like, Justice Hill and of course Keaton Mitchell, where they could do these little stutter steps and then be gone. I don't know if he doesn't have that speed. Gus needs to be in for power plays, follow his lead blocker. That's it. He shouldn't be doing anything where he's cutting back or anything like that. Mr. Galloway in the building. I appreciate you for coming by. Listen, you're saying to me, continue being great, but Greatness is over on that channel. Y'all need to go check out Mr. Galloway. His channel is elite. He talks hip hop, life, I mean everything. And it's the best thing, it's the best thing airing on Tuesdays. Okay? Tuesday nights, you need something to watch, go watch Mr. Galloway. Okay? That man, I will watch that. I do watch that every Tuesday night over anything else. Okay, we got him. You know, Suge comes on after that, later that night. I promise you, get into this group of content creators. You won't need a TV. Mr. Galloway, Jared, The Rogue Pod, LBHT, Sip the Tally, Chris Just Joking with the Deep Cover Podcast, me, my usual co-host, Mr. Brandon Bazel, 86 Ghosts. I mean, the list goes on and on. Suge, OTR Mike, all of these guys. You don't need a TV. You got this content right here. Raven C, my boy Raven C, and Graven. You got us. You got all of us. There's no need for TV. There's no need for TV. Only time I turn my TV on is I let my kids watch it, and then I turn it on for me if nobody's streaming. And even a lot of times, if nobody's streaming, I'm watching stuff that I've missed to make sure I go back and watch it because I know it's gonna be fire. So this is where it's at, y'all. And I can't tell y'all how proud I am to be a part of that community. Right? I love it. I love it. Great group of people. I love being a part of the community. I love being around them. Great time. Good people. Now I'm gonna get back on subject here because the Ravens absolutely scared the living daylights out of me today. I thought for sure. I mean, we got to see what's going on with Kyle Hamilton. His knee was wrapped up pretty heavy. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, and we'll see him back soon. But do not rush him back. I know he's a huge playmaker for our defense, right? And he's become a key part to this defense. If you have to rest him next week and even a week after to make sure he's good for the playoffs, do it. Do it. Because at this point, with the way we're playing on good weeks against good teams, it doesn't matter if we get a bye week or not. I almost don't want us to have the bye week so that way we go into the game ready to go. Because we've seen again this week that John Harbaugh and his coaching ways cannot get teams ready to play. Right? He's not good at getting us set up to play lesser teams. He's not good at getting his team up to play when they have no motivation or they're coming off a bye week and it's you kind of get a little rest and a little rust there. He doesn't know how to knock that off. He doesn't know how to help propel this team to another level. He's kind of just there. And we've seen it again today because it's not just the players that were rusty. Clearly he was too, and somebody needs to get him a rule book because you don't challenge a play that's automatically reviewed. John, what are we doing? What are we doing? They automatically review this, and you throw the challenge flag. It costs us a timeout. In the end, thank goodness we didn't need it. But come on. These are coaching mistakes that you're making that we cannot have. As a franchise, trying to maintain being a Super Bowl contender and trying to win multiple championships, you can't have coaching blunders where your mind's blank in the middle of a football game. Now, it was a stupid decision. It was clearly a touchdown. I get it. People say, well, he wanted to challenge that that DeMarcus Robinson stepped out the back of the end zone before he caught the ball. Well, guess what? That's part of what's being reviewed. When they look at the touchdown play, they're looking at everything that consists of it. So they would have seen if he stepped on the line and went out of bounds. They would have seen that. I know it sounds like I'm being negative Nancy here after a victory, but how can we, as Ravens fans, be excited about what we just watched in a sloppy football game? Now, thankfully, the defense cleaned it up in the second half. And thank goodness for them in the second half because they kept us in this game. But they still gave up over 30 points. You gave up 31 points. You're supposed to be the top defense in the league. You gave up 31 points against an offense that just kind of found their stride the last few weeks. And as much as I love Mike McDonald, something has to be said to him, the defensive line, and the linebackers, because we're not stopping the run. We can't stop the run. Let's be honest for a second. If the Rams keep running the ball in that first drive rather than stopping and throwing 3 incomplete passes, they win this game in regulation. They win by 4. Do you realize that? Does anybody realize that if the Rams go ahead and keep running it on that first drive and they score a touchdown there, that's a swing. They get 4 additional points there. We need to fix that. And Jerry says, "Yep, that's what I'm concerned about." And we need in our certain play calling on offense. Absolutely. There's questionable play calling out there. And it needs to be fixed. At some point, we need Todd Monken to stay Todd Monken, right? Stay true to self. Don't let John Harbaugh play a role in your play calling. You were brought in to be the offensive coordinator. I need you to be that and make some good decisions here, because that swing route that they ran Likely on where he was wide open, that was a genius play. Amazing play. And I'm not giving that to the great job by Likely to catch it and go score. Great job by Lamar finding Likely. But the play design by Todd Monken was amazing. You bring Likely in motion across the line, and then you take your receivers and you run them back the opposite direction after you start the play, and he creeps right up the sideline. And those guys drug the whole defense with them. That's great play design. Great play design. Something we never would have seen from Greg Roman. And just speaking of Greg Roman, Jerry says here, it's better than Greg Roman, but I want us to continue to be in the position we are in. Yes. Yes. We need to continue to have control of our own future and be a better offense, right? We're growing as an offense. But if you let Harbaugh throw some things in there, we're going to go backwards or stay stagnant. And I think that's what happens. I think Harbaugh makes a couple of decisions here and there. I think Harbaugh goes, no, X-Nay, I don't want to do that one. Let's do this one. And then guys look at him and go, huh? You want to do what now? All right. And we have to talk about also Lamar Jackson's interception. It was an underthrown ball. But I'm going to put that, yes, on Lamar for underthrowing it, but I'm also going to put it on Bateman because Bateman now a number of weeks in a row, including in this game, has slowed down his stride at the top of his routes. So Lamar, probably thinking he's going to do the same thing, didn't get as much oomph under the ball as he did the previous play. And in turn, the defender comes and takes that away. Now, I think you also have to do a better job of fighting that if you're a wide receiver. You got to do a better job of fighting to get that ball out of his hands than what Bate did. But Bate made up for it, made a couple of big plays later on. We've seen OBJ with a couple of great catches out there. Zay. Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers are showing a clutch gene, right? We haven't had a wide receiver, show a clutch gene yet. So to have Zay making the big catches when they matter is huge. Absolutely huge. The offense took a lot longer to get in stride today than normal. The defense struggled big early on against the run. We seen late in the game, Marlon Humphrey, he fell in coverage against Cooper Kupp. Against Robinson, he fell, and then he got caught on again by Cooper Kupp, and then he dropped the interception that would have ended the game in regulation. So there was a string of, hey, Marlo, you right there. Right there, Marlo. Right there. He's going to get better. It's rust. It's got to be rust. And, it was raining. The field's slippery. So, he fell down. It is what it is. We got out of there with a victory. Thank you, Tylen. But Marlo's got to play better. But and it's not even that he played bad. If you really look at this Rams offense, them dudes are stacked. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, the rookie tight end. They got a good squad over there, and they're kind of just hitting their stride over the last couple weeks. They went 3-0 before facing us, so they're hitting their stride as well. So it's good competition. They're a team that's had a rough start to the season and is kind of finding their way. But we still expect us as Ravens, who now, until the Dolphins play, if they win, are the number one in the AFC. Let's repeat that. Number one in the AFC. So we're held to a higher expectation than the team when we're facing teams like the Rams, who are fighting to even get a playoff seeding. 6-6, they were knocking on the door, but it's not one of those things where we go in they're knocking on the door in the NFC, a conference that's lesser than the AFC, obviously. And we're sitting at number one in the AFC right this second. We have to look at this game before we go in and we go, okay, the Rams are a good team, but they're not as good as us. Let's go out there and do what we do and put them away early. And the Ravens couldn't do it. And it's because of leadership, right? It's because of their head coach. The head coach don't know how to get them guys ready. I don't know. I need to hear a John Harbaugh pep talk these days because I don't think they're working. Drew says, I agree. Don't let the record fool you. The Rams are a good ball club. Absolutely. They're absolutely a good ball club. They found their stride the last few weeks. Like I said, they went 3-0. And they're a good team. But they're a good team that's struggling. And we're supposed to be a great team. I put the emphasis on supposed to be. Because we're not showing that. We're not showing that whatsoever. The AFC is too tight-wound of a conference for us to let games be this close. We have to go out every week as if it's going to be our last game because it's hard to hold a position in the AFC. We already know if the Dolphins win, guess what? We drop the second, right? If we lose at all, we lose one game, and the rest of our opponents continue to win. Say the Jags win, keep winning. The Chiefs keep winning, right? We that easily drop to fourth. And if we lose another one, we that easily drop down again. So we have to stay on our game. This team has to look at every game as if our playoff future is on the line because it is. I don't care what the record says. 10-3. I don't care if it says 10-3. We gotta play as if we're trying to win the Super Bowl every single game. This game was very sloppy. Now there were good parts to it. It was a very sloppy game, but there was good parts to it, right? Second half, the defense played a lot better. It was still obviously too close for my comfort because we went to overtime and returned a punt to win the game. Big ups to Tylen Wallace. Like I said, Tylen Wallace, you officially kicked Devin Duvernay off this team. The offseason is going to see some major changes in the Ravens locker room. And I, for one, think we need to win the Super Bowl this year so that there's not a major fall off next year. But with that being said, like I said, there was good parts to this game. Keaton Mitchell continues to show burst. He had a play where he made a cut and he got in the hole. And had he not tripped up, he was taking that to the house. Now, we ended up scoring after that anyway. I believe that was the Isaiah Likely touchdown pass. But had he not tripped when he hit the hole, he was taking that to the house anyway. So Keaton Mitchell was proven to be an absolute weapon. We got Zeke in the building. What's good, Zeke? Hey, listen. The game pissed me off too. And the ending was spectacular. Absolutely spectacular ending. But and I'm assuming the game pissed you off because these Ravens look sloppy. They look terrible. And as I was saying, there's good parts. Keaton Mitchell is looking like a weapon. Zay Flowers is getting more consistent. He's a weapon. We got a lot of play from Nelson Occasional Hands Aguilar today. You know what I mean? And I agree. We didn't see enough of Keaton Mitchell. We didn't. And to be honest, it was almost like we came into this game and we switched places with the Rams because the Rams was the team that you would thought was going to come in and air it out and be throwing the ball left and right all over the field early on. But they were smart enough to run the ball until they got to the red zone. So thank goodness for bad offensive coordinator there. Because if they had continued running, like I said earlier, they probably would have won this game because they would have got 7 there instead of 3, which means they end up winning in regulation. But we came out, and for some reason, it was pass. And I have no problem with that, right? I love Lamar. I love the weapons we got. But you also have a weapon in the backfield who can break one at any moment. And it was rainy. The ground's wet. The ball's wet. Run the ball. Run the ball. The offensive line played well. They blocked well. And run and pass. The pass pro today was outstanding. Run the ball early. And then you set up your play action. And then you let Lamar do what he has to do with passing. I'm shocked that they came out and said, we're going to throw it all over the field, especially when the Rams have a guy like Aaron Donald out there. But again, to their credit, They locked Aaron Donald up. He attempted to make plays. He didn't get them, but he attempted. So big ups to him on that. But and again, like I said, it was a sloppy game that had its highlights. It had its high points. If we can get the offense to play like they get against, say, Seattle or Detroit, and our defense to play like they get against Seattle or Detroit, but then get our offensive line to play like they get it today, this is a dangerous team. Like I said, with the exception of the Linderbaum snap, which I got no clue what he was thinking. He was smoking the same stuff John Harbaugh was smoking when he threw that challenge flag. Let's just leave it at that. This is a good football team with great potential. And I hate saying that word because that word is an absolute killer. Being that I'm a fan of, teams like the Ravens and the Orlando Magic, they're teams that's full of potential. Potential is a big killer because it tends to have you, it makes you kind of stand still. Potential makes you believe that you're better than you really are. And I don't want that to be the case with this Baltimore Ravens team. I want the case to be that we are a Super Bowl team and we will be the Super Bowl champions. That's what I want. It's the reason why in the preseason I said that this team was ranked 17th or 14th to 17th overall, was because I seen that it was a team that was just loaded with potential, not knowing if they were going to realize that potential. So far, we're trying. We're getting close. The potential is showing, right? So we've been playing above expectations thus far. Can we close it out that way? Can we stay consistent? Can we dominate the league the way we should? Because this is the year, right? The Chiefs are playing sloppy. The Dolphins struggling against any team with a winning record, 500 or up. The Bills look like they just completely lost their way. The AFC is open for the taking. It's ripe. It's ready. Right? It's meant to be ours. If there was ever a year that is meant to be ours, it would be this year. And it's kind of tough because the last time I felt that way was in 2019. And we all know what happened then. So let's hope that this is just an alternate ending to what should have been in 2019. Hopefully this year we get the Super Bowl we were supposed to get back then. Right? If we don't, I think heads are going to roll. I'm going to be honest. If we don't win the Super Bowl this year, I think heads roll. And we all know who that is. We know some of the offensive pieces on that offensive line is not the best. But we know now it's been coaching the whole time. Listen, it's not the best on that offensive line. And actually, prior to coming on, before this game started, I was actually saying to someone that I believe it was my lady I was saying it to. But I was saying most of the offensive line, with the exception of Linderbaum, is going to change. Because we don't know. Stanley might end up sliding to the right. We may get a new left tackle, all types of things. We need new guards. So a lot of the offensive line is either going to change or needs to be changed. And then they came out and played phenomenal. And the only mistake was the one guy whose job I said was solidified, and that's Linderbaum. So I feel like at this point, the Ravens do almost the opposite of everything I say. When we had, I think we lost I picked us, the one game I picked us to win by blowout. I think it was against the Browns. I don't remember. One game I picked us to win by blowout, we lost. It's been one of those years where it seems like the Ravens listen to my channel or watch my channel and then go, we're going to do the opposite of that. Bro, listen, you hear, I still don't have my voice. I still don't have my voice. I know you was over there yelling because I was watching. I still don't have my voice. It's not. I don't think it's coming back. I don't think it's coming back. It's one of those things where I love these Ravens, man. We all do, but that they a heart attack waiting to happen, bro. It's too much. It's too much. And Raven, see, you gotta let me know if you begin on Warzone too, because I downloaded the update and I was just on. I got my first resurgence win already. I just played it the other day. I got my first resurgence win already. So, just so y'all know, your boy be ready. All right, I gotta get you, Coach. Uh, um, what's his name? Nitro, my boy Nitro. That's another one. Go check out Nitro channel too. But you, Coach Nitro, we all got whatever crew we gonna run with. We gotta get on there. We gotta hop on Warzone. We gotta go out there and catch them kills, bro. Get them numbers, get some wins. Cause yeah, I got my first with a bunch of randoms where we were like barely communicating, but we got it done. You know what I mean? We did what we had to do. I was the sniper. I was sniping. I was plucking them from a distance, just picking them. So yeah, we gotta do that. Bro. We gotta do that. But to get back to the Ravens, it was a poorest performance. I know you're probably sick and tired of me saying that. Just throw out some highlights, or some names. Throw some names out there. Brandon Stevens still played well. Um, I I don't know what that kid did in the off season, but he's been stellar. He had to play with a running back, caught the ball in the backfield. He came up and just absolutely finished him. And it was a beautiful play because if he doesn't make that play, that running back's got a first down. Huge play by Brandon Stevens. Kyle Van Noy, same thing. He came up on a second down. No, it was a third. He came up on a third down, and he makes the play on the running back in the backfield to knock them out of field goal range. It might have been a second down, and they threw it incomplete on third. Yes, that's what it was. Anyway, he knocked them out of field goal range. Huge play. So we have guys that are shining and they're showing and making plays. Not everybody is playing bad, right? Not everybody played bad, but as a team, it looked off, like significantly off. We have to do better as a unit. But oh man, you could hear. I'm sorry for clearing my throat like that. I don't have my voice from yelling during the game. I completely lost it. Um, I was having a heart attack. I did not want to see us lose that game, especially. And one of the reasons for OBJ, I wanted to get that W for OBJ because the Rams could have brought him back and they chose not to. We pretty much swapped OBJ for DeMarcus Robinson. I just want to point that out. I feel like we got the better of that deal too, because OBJ is starting to show something. Like he's getting his legs back under him, and his route running. You're seeing it now. That man is an elite route runner. Elite. My boy Travis Jones got a sack today. Travis Jones representing CT. You know what I'm saying? Hometown. My alma mater out here. We went to Wilbur Cross. You know what I'm saying? UConn. Travis Jones, big bro, holding it down. Holding it down. Facts, OBJ balling and people being quiet about that pick on the absolutely. Because there was a lot of rumbling and from a lot of people, including myself, of making a statement OBJ was overpaid. And now, don't get me wrong, I don't know if he's performing to the check he got, but he's doing exactly what we need from him. He's doing exactly what we need from him, including mentoring these young guys. But maybe while I got you here, Raven, see, I just want to ask. Actually, I want to ask everybody in the chat: do y'all think now, after seeing Tylen Wallace return that punt for a touchdown, Should he be the long-term punt returner now? And should we say, go ahead and be prepared to say bye-bye to Duvernay since his contract is up in the offseason? Because I think that's what's going to happen. I think the smart move is to just let Duvernay walk. I mean, he's not providing anything offensively, and he hasn't been providing anything on the special teams. And he was one of the guys I liked when we got him coming out of Texas. I felt like he was feisty. You know, draw him up in the right plays, he could be somewhat of a playmaker. But it seems like he's slowed down a little bit. Maybe he's got a nagging injury. I don't know what it is, but I think he's gone. And I know it's a lot of Tylan Wallace fans out there. And I know you guys have been like dying for him to get his shot. So maybe he's the new return guy. I mean, Duve had a touchdown on a kickoff a couple years ago. I think it was a kickoff. So, he's capable, but blocking has to be perfect for him. Whereas Tylan went out there, busted a spin move, broke away from arm tackles. Like, he's definitely more shifty. So he's the guy to me. But listen, I'm not gonna keep y'all much longer. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Make sure you hit the like button. Like, share, subscribe. We're at 100, and we are trying to make that climb to 200. So we'll do it as slowly but surely as possible, right? We don't just want numbers. We want more family. So we want to grow together. We want to love each other, enjoy life, be family, do what family do. So let's continue to grow. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Stay blessed. Peace.